Hey everybody, this is Al with El Rey Collection, and today we are here to talk about the epic cardboard of none other than Diego Armando Maradona, El Dios. Super excited. He is obviously one of the best footballers ever, and I'm here to talk about some of my favorite cards. Now, literally, there are hundreds and hundreds of Maradona cards. So I'm just going to pick a few out, give you a flavor, provide some commentary, provide my opinions, and take it with a grain of salt. You decide which ones you like. Let's start with none other than the 1977 Football album, which is this famous now, I guess, yellow little disc. Now, a lot of people don't like Argentine cards, the Pog cards especially, because they're circular. And I know that it's a struggle if you come from an American collecting society to say that that looks like a card. But if you really start to study it and get into the books, like I highly recommend a book called Difícil eran las de antes, which is a great book that goes through all the Argentine issues from the beginning of time, really, for them, which is the 1920s. You start to see that this is a very common format, these circular discs, throughout their history and part of their cultural heritage. So why do they determine a circle? I don't know, but it's really, really Argentine and really unique. And sometimes they're out of cardboard and sometimes they're out of metal. So this particular is without a doubt his one first issue. So if you're into what you think are rookie things, I think this is clearly the rookie from my perspective. This is probably the most important card. But that being said, there have been others that have sold for more than this. The football is, to me, the holy grail of Maradona cards, not anything else. So there's that. My second favorite would be his second year card, which is the crack. PSA labels this a couple of different ways, but it's unmistakably the same card. You can see it has a blank back. Usually these are come off the album, and so they have really a lot of damage on the back. But this one in particular is a pretty nice copy. I think the highest may be a 6 on this. I love this one. I mean, he's so close. When I think about Maradona, I think about how close he was to winning 3 World Cups. Yes, we have the hand of God and the amazing dribble in 1986 against England, but we also have the fact that he was the last player to get cut in 78, where he would have received a championship, as 78 Argentina won while playing at home. Very similar, well, it wasn't at home, but very similar to what Ronaldo R9, received the 1994 World Cup victory because he was on the team. He played very little. You could have envisioned that for Maradona, winning in 78. And remember, they get to the final in Italy in 1990 as well. So he's just a hair away from winning 3 World Cups. And, if you think about Pele, yeah, he won, but he only played one game in the 62 World Cup. That was mostly Garrincha. So, it's just a matter of inches on how close, he was. And it's just one of these things that I think that people need to remember. And this is him in the Argentina kit, in the 78 set, made for the World Cup, thinking that he's going to be on the team, and he's not. So similar to this card, there's a few other cards where he's kind of pictured in cartoons. Some people like these, some don't. This particular one I like. I like another one a little less, but this one's got the pacifier. He's just the baby. He's the rookie. He's the new kid on the block, but unmistakably pretty cool art, different from what you'd see otherwise. Blank backs. Usually those come up thrashed. Another good early card, and there's a number of these from the Argentine Campeón as well. This is from the Libro de Estampas. It's really nice card. Again, all these are blank back. Normally these are thrashed. Now I tend to focus most on the fronts, and if it's a nice front and a thrash back, I'll pick it up. Most vintage soccer, is going to come that way, and that's just the way they were meant to be placed in albums. So guess what? Most of them were placed in albums. It's rare when one are not, and then they they end up in high grade, and obviously they carry a premium when they weren't stuck in the album. Again, back to some of this, these circular ones. Here's a super football, and just look at the colors pop on this. So he's a little older here, but it's awesome. Love those. So this is still when he's playing, in Argentina, and then these Industria. Sometimes they call them Industria Argentina. This one's they call it Industria Super Football. Depends on who's grading it. This particular one, I don't love the art on it, but certainly worthwhile picking up these early, pre 1980, in 1980. There's a couple more. I have a ton of this stuff just not graded. You can get this set has him like with his a record player, kind of documents a bunch of different moments for him. Here's another one in the Boca kit right here. So now the one that so these are all 1980 or before, and the one that is garnering a lot of attention these days because of the super high sale of the Gem Mint PSA 10 is the 1979-80 Panini Calciatori issued in Italy. Not a particularly rare sticker at all. Very, very, gettable. It'll be interesting to see how things change in the market based on that result. But I'll say that, one of the things that you should look for when you look at these stickers are kind of full borders on both the top and the bottom. Really, really full borders. And make sure the sizing's right. I think that this particular card, because there's so many of them, lends itself to potential trimmers trying to increase the grade on these. Frankly, I would steer clear of paying high premiums for high graded 79-80 Panini Calciatoris. It's a sad reality. I would prefer low grade Industria Argentina ones, or low grade 77 discs, or even the 78 crack, which typically comes in PSA 1 to 3. So that's where I would go. But you do you. It is an iconic image. He actually looks quite sad here, at least to me. And of course, you get the cool traditional Panini backs, with that. Another kind of uncommon issue that comes out of Argentina from the same time period is the Chocolates Toras. It's just nice. Cute little card. Again, these blank back. You see this little paper loss up here? It's so hard to see. You can barely see that. And that's why, well, at BVG, they get a 4. That would get a PSA 2. But, the eye appeal is everything to me. So that's what I try to focus on, is collecting vintage soccer and actually vintage, anything. I tend to focus on eye appeal. I'm not the guy that needs the highest graded of everything. Here's another nice Pog. These Pogs that they have down in Argentina. And again, you wouldn't notice it. You have to put it at the side to see this paper loss here in the middle. But the front is completely acceptable and something that I would encourage you guys to collect. This is kind of a fun one. It's a chapitas. These are made of metal. See if we can get some of that reflection. Yeah. See, these are made of metal, and show him already with his crown. They've already crowned him as the king, and it's 1981. We have so much more in front of us. This is actually a 1982 sticker. I know it says FKS 81, but it's getting ready for the World Cup, and the copyright's 1981. So this is why the third-party grading companies just kind of assign what they want. And then, of course, Argentina did not fare particularly well in the 1982 World Cup, but this is a really nice sticker. And all these World Cup stickers, I think, are going to be really important as time goes on, especially the ones from pre-1990, where the production and the amount of unstuck ones is relatively low. This is not one you see every day. This is kind of a punch out from a dual card. I happen to love the shape and love what SGC did here on the custom cut holder. Really nice. Looks a lot like art. Why the A? Well, definitely some paper loss on the back, but you just got to take this with vintage soccer, guys. Actually, one of my very underrated card, in my opinion, is these Laughing Cows out of France. Especially this one that has Platini and Maradona on it for the 1982 World Cup. Put it this way. I mean, to have two legends, two of the no doubt absolute best players ever on one card is pretty cool. This is a 1982 Zacharias. I think it's out of Portugal, from what I can recall. And he's right here. You're talking 1982, and he's 20 years old, right? Wow, amazing. So you got here's a laughing cow of just him. Actually, that doesn't seem right. Seems like he should have been a little older. Anyway, that's what the card said. So here you've got laughing cow, and these have cool backs, and they tell you who you can collect. And obviously, he made the cut already in 1982, and this is before his transfer to Barca, which comes up in 82, 83. And here you go. This is his Barca cards, and these are from Ediciones Este, which many of you who collect more modern cards will recognize that name. These are nice. These are usually found stuck, so if you can even find one unstuck, I still say get them. These are just beautiful design with the portrait, the plane, the nice crest over here, excellent, beautiful back. Again, when you start to get into the 80s, you decide, do you like Maradona with Barca? He was only there a short period of time. Do you like him with Napoli, where he made his name? Here's Spain. We're playing against Brazil here. Is that Zico? Looks like Zico, yeah. So you got Zico and him on the same card. Canal 13. There you go. Canal 13. Love it. Very uncommon one there. I hadn't seen that one. This is actually from a very common and inexpensive set, and it's called Geprodesa, and it has all of them have a Cruyff in the corner, and Cruyff will say he'll talk about different moves that you do in soccer, and he'll use the current day players. So you've got even after it wasn't current day, Pele, himself, Maradona. I mean, just lots of different. There's probably 15 different Maradonas in here. And so you can get these, I haven't looked for them in a while, but really inexpensively, right? It says, toque con el empeine interior, how to touch with the inside of your foot. So, these are, inexpensive, and you get, look at that. I mean, Cruyff and Maradona, oh, love it. Cruyff as like the teacher of, total football. Maradona as an executor. I mean, come on, guys. This is amazing stuff. So here you go in 1985, building up to the World Cup. Here, this is just a regular Panini star, and there's going to be tons and tons. You can decide, hey, I want to go Maradona on the Argentina kit. I want to do Napoli. I want to do World Cup stickers. I want to do so many different ways you can take this if you're a Maradona fan. This particular one I like a lot. Just simple. Oh, Football 86. Love this one. This one also has the circular piece where you can cut out, his head for the sticker. And then, of course, the iconic, wish I had a higher grade one of these, but the iconic 1986 Panini World Cup stickers. Right? So, now, oddly enough, even though that's a 4.5, I have a 5.5 of a very, very rare variation, which is the no instructions. I've never seen this anywhere. It's like a printing error. And I think that's pretty dang special. Never seen it. It's an oddity, of course, but not sure if anybody else has seen some of those for different players or Maradona. Can you let me know in the comments? Because I just don't really know much about it besides it looks like an error. Then you get into Napoli. I mean, one of the great things about Maradona, right? So he takes this Argentine team in 86, which is not expected to do anything. They win the World Cup. All the amazing. I love that World Cup. All the amazing exploits and memories we have from that, and then he takes a really cruddy Napoli team to win the Serie A, which is just amazing. I mean, the way this guy could carry a team, his national team and a poor performing team to victories is why many Argentines still consider him, and will always consider him, much more important and better than Messi, just because. He took a team that wasn't supposed to win and made them win. And, you know, yeah, Messi made it to the final of the World Cup, but they really haven't done anything with Messi in the World Cup, and that's unfortunate, for Messi. But I think, and then of course at Barca he had all these other talented players around him, and it feels like Maradona just put everybody on his shoulders when he needed to and made it happen. So here's some more paninis. There's tons of different sets of these. I would say just go, you know, search eBay, search eBay Italy. You'll find a lot of these things. I'm not sure kind of what the pricing is these days, but I still think that no matter what it is, all these things have big upside. Weren't these major production runs like we have in U.S. baseball and basketball? There's just a nice variety of things with different visuals than you're accustomed to. Some cool backs. Just keep looking for things that interest you. Here's another Panini. It shows him hoisting the World Cup. Issued in 1987 after they won in '86. See, gets his hands on the World Cup finally, right? So he, very exciting. There's just some regional issues. There's some, national issues, international issues. Of course, he's a gigantic name, so he's going to be in issues from all sorts of different countries. Personally, I prefer, the Italian ones, obviously, and the Spanish ones when he was there. It's kind of a unique one. Let's see this here. Yeah, so and you can focus on cards or stickers. There's a number of cards. All those Gela Prosa cards are cards. That he's got a number of other ones like this Multi Aurora that comes from Brazil. This is a card, right? So the Pogs I consider cards because they're out of cardboards. All those Industria Argentina ones are cardboard. So these are really nice. This one comes out of Brazil. I just find it, he's a global figure of the game, and he will. I'm just gonna leave this one here. I think it's so pretty, and he's gonna show up on a lot of different cards. In fact, here I've got I don't know the best. Well, maybe it's just the best way to show you. I mean, literally, hundreds and hundreds of cards that he's on that I just haven't graded. So I think pick your poison, so to speak. Go after it, and start to collect ones that may be of interest. I'll just throw a few down here that could be of interest to people, and you just look at this nice little shiny one. You've got more of him in Barcelona. This is a card. You've got this one's fascinating to me right here. It's later issue, but from Argentina. So anyway, you decide how you collect, but if you're a soccer collector, you've got to have a Maradona. That's my opinion. You can tell me to jam it. If you do so in the comments, and at least like the video, and subscribe, and hopefully we can do more and more of these, and I hope you enjoyed the tour through Maradona cards because he's certainly one of my favorites, and I hope he is one of yours.